Oy vey, green crystals. Well, we'll deal with them later. Because bows need something different. These need the super missile. They deal 5 times the damage. And as such 5 times more effective against Metroids. However, they're also 5 times more difficult to collect. So everything goes back to number 5. As you can see, we start out with merely 2 super missiles. And I think we can only carry like 5 at most at the moment. So that is a problem in its own right. Dude, I really hate contact damage. Luckily some enemies drop super missiles, so it's not too big of a deal if you are looking for some. There are super missile expansion packs as well, available now at Toys R Us. But you know, you'd rather be doing something else instead of collecting all of these expansion packs. It's just a little nitpick. Get off my porthole! I wanna leave this place. Anyway, let's see. If I go there, I go nowhere, so let's go down. If I take the left to Albuquerque, I get nowhere fast. So I do need to actually run for it. From the other room. Okay. I've recently played Tasmania on Sega Genesis as well. I gotta tell you, man, don't play Tasmania. Even if you like the character that it's based on, Taz the Tasmanian Devil, you know, the fucker from Looney Tunes, you will be sorely disappointed because the game is just a piece of shit. More on that later, I guess. I have footage, but I haven't done anything with it yet. I don't like the way that playthrough came out, so I'm probably gonna convert it into something different, like a short overview video, which by the way, I'm still working on it. It's just that I haven't written any scripts yet, didn't quite have the time yet. But don't worry, I'm working on it. It'll happen, I promise. One of these days. I'm not gonna give you an ETA, cause I really don't know when it's gonna happen, but it's gonna happen. There should be another beam upgrade somewhere around here. Oh, come on, that's kinda dumb. If they're right next to you, sometimes you can't hit them anymore. That's not fair. The Spazzer beam! Spazzer. Now your Spazzer beam, or Spacer as some people like to say. I like to call it Spazzer because I'm an illiterate son of a bitch. This is a very good thing to have, you know? Yeah, it's pretty good. It's pretty good because not only is it wider, it's also slightly more powerful. So that's good. It's like having a long-range shotgun. You know, kind of like a Mass Effect. Doesn't it kind of suck that Mass Effect just turned out the way it is right now? I mean, come on. The series was never all that amazing, but it wasn't shit either. Nowadays, I don't even want to talk about it. Like, come on, I mean, what can I even say? Andromeda is really dropping the ball low. That just looks awful. Not only that, but I heard it plays equally as awful. I haven't tried it out myself yet because I kind of fear that I'm gonna be super disappointed, and I don't really want to play bad games. Jeez Louise, tell me more! You don't want to play bad games? That's a new thing. Yeah, as hard as it may be to believe, but I don't really want to play the shitty fucking games. I'd rather be playing good ones. But it is a pretty shitty way to end the series, you know. You have a good series going and you can't even end it properly because suddenly they change developer teams. I think that's what happened. Like the development teams completely changed that, and that's when the game suddenly became a shit. That's just not good. I mean, I can only talk about the game as much as I've heard about it. So, for all I know, it could be not as bad as people claim it to be. So just keep that in mind, guys. However, from what I have heard from the majority of people, it's not good. It's just not holding up very well at all. I'll have to consider asking some of my sources that may have played the game to see if it is as bad as it apparently is, but I don't really know if I want to. Like, it feels like I already know the answer. It's gonna be bad. I played Mass Effect 2 and 3. I thought they were pretty decent. 3 maybe not so much, but then again, even with the shitty ending, as people like to say, I wasn't so hard on the game because I thought the ending was not that bad. But then again, when I talk about the Mass Effect 3's ending, I mean that's a silly Big Ben explosion, not the rest of that shit. Because the Big Ben exploding was like the funniest thing I've ever seen. Wow, that was like the easiest Metroid fight yet. But yeah, that Big Ben explosion in Mass Effect 3, that was my ending of the game. I blew up Big Ben and I was quite satisfied with that. But everybody else were talking about the ending for reals, like none of the choices mattered, it was a waste of time, everything was predetermined most of the time. I didn't follow too much because, I mean, what can I say? I'm not a big fan of this series entirely, so I only enjoyed so much, you know? Both times when I played the games, you know, both 2 and 3, I didn't even play it on like the role-playing mode. I only played it on action mode or whatever it's called, you know, because I don't really care about the role-playing aspect of the game. I've heard about it. I thought it was kind of cringy at best. So I figured, I think I'll skip on that. I'll just go for action, because I kind of like that more. I'm an action man! And I wasn't disappointed on that front at all. Action in Mass Effect isn't too bad. It's not really that amazing either, of course, but yeah, if you want something space related with a half decent story, at worst, that is, and a not so shitty story at all at best, sure, okay, the first 3 Mass Effect games are just perfect for that. By the way, don't worry if you can't see anything. I can't see anything either. That's intended. You just have to deal with it in this place. Come on, die, you son of a bitch. But whenever I see or hear anything about Andromeda, I just never hear anything good. And this is kind of unnerving because this isn't just a thing with Andromeda. A lot of new releases are having the same problem. A lot of new games are just not good. And I don't know what to say. It just feels like the developers feel like they can get away with shittier products because they have a fan base that is most likely just gonna buy the product without really thinking about it. But that's not how it works. Even if you have a fan base, you gotta keep in mind that they will want a quality product. You can't just expect to give somebody shit tier entertainment and expect to be paid for a full price. You know, like $60 fucking for a shitty game is not going to happen. Nobody's gonna pay you that much to play something that is essentially an unplayable buggy mess like Battlecruiser Millennium. You know, Battlecruiser Millennium, I think I only got it for like 10 euros at best. I don't know. I don't know how much it costed back then, because I didn't buy it. It was the parents that bought it. But from what I can tell, it was not expensive at all. So at least I can expect nowadays a certain kind of quality whenever I pick up a game like that. But whenever I see $60 fucking on a AAA title, I expect that AAA. And not everybody can just go around buying $60 plus games, because some games don't even cost that much anymore. I mean, remember Planetary Annihilation? That son of a bitch costed $80 or $90 before it became fully released. Now of course the excuse at the time was, oh well, we are developing the game, so this is our way of early access, so we don't want you to feel like we're ripping you off, guys. We just want you to feel like you're supporting us while you're also giving us feedback on the game's bugs and performance. But now look at Planetary Annihilation. It's pretty much dead, from what I've heard at least. I didn't follow the multiplayer section of Planetary Annihilation at all, because frankly, I didn't buy the game for that. I bought it for single player. And single player is so far disappointing, to say the least. It's super simple. It's not challenging at all. And it's just not very fleshed out. There's nothing going on there half the time. I don't want to play it. And if I had bought it at its bigger price, its pre-release price, like $80 or $90, fuck that. I probably would have asked for a refund right away. That's a lot of money for a game that promised a lot but delivered almost nothing. And it also doesn't help that a lot of people are apologizing for it too. Like sure, a lot of people like to say that it's a total piece of shit. Let's be honest, it's not a total piece of shit. Planetary Annihilation still has something going for it. The problem is, it's not a finished product, and it's abandoned. It still needs stuff. Even though some people may say, oh, it's totally finished, guys. No, it is not finished. There's still stuff missing. In fact, one of the things that was supposed to come out for it are the new units, you know, the Titans. But instead of becoming an update, it became a DLC. Not even that, an expansion pack. An expansion pack that even the owners of the game have to pay for. Now, granted, expansion packs are exactly supposed to work like that. You have a game, then you buy an expansion pack to expand your game. That's fair game, you know? There's nothing wrong with that. It happened before, so why not now? The problem here is that the expansion pack is more like an update to the game. It feels like it should have been an update, a patch, not a fucking expansion pack that you have to pay at least $15 more on top of whatever the price is right now for the game. Just to have a few additional units and whoever knows how many more months of support. From the last time I heard, the game doesn't have any more support. The developers gave up on it. So even if you actually had faith in the developers at the time and you did buy the expansion pack, you're still fucked. Like, that's just abysmal. And that comes from somebody that's not a AAA company, you know? So how can you expect anyone to deliver a good game? It's like they're experiencing another video game crash. This is just balls. We can't expect to... Basically what I want to say is we can't expect to push shit and get away with it, you know? But everybody knows that already. And because of that, the big companies are suffering. Or at least it feels like it, because... Well, can you name at least one game from the big companies that's been good? I personally cannot. Now granted, there probably is something, but I can't name a single thing. I don't know any new good games that came out from Ubisoft or EA or any of those other big companies. Maybe Doom, the new Doom, the 2016 Doom. But I can't say anything about it since I haven't played it. I can't run it. Yeah, I can't fucking run it. My computer's not good enough for that. But from what I heard, it is good, so maybe that is like the only example that I can come up with. Anything else? I can't. I just have nothing. Anyway, we had our little spiel about bullshit. Let's get out of this fucking dank cavern. It's so annoying to be here. The annoying part about this room is that once you break that wine, the floor collapses as well. Ah, finally. Sweet, sweet light. That room is annoying to navigate because of its perpetual darkness, but if you think that's the last of that bullshit, you got another thing coming for you, boy. It's gonna happen more than once, but luckily, not as many times as you think it does. So anyway, let's go back to the save point and call it a day. There's still other things that need to be done. This is a good game to talk shit about. I mean, there's not much to say about the game itself. It's like, you shoot Metroids. Yep, that's Metroid, you shoot it. But that's about it. It's a very simple game, so it's perfect for talking some crap. Anyway, this will be it for this session. I'm Halder Richards from DaGameTrain. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time for more AM2R. Stay tuned.